Not ready yet. Yeah, I am live. Okay, you can start now.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna have to have a few tries of this. You shouldn't have gone live.
That's fine. I can edit it out later. It's a private video.
Okay. And go. Hello and welcome to the first episode of Top Gear, starring Richard Hammond, James May, and me, Jeremy Clark. Today we are going to be talking about an amazing second wheels fresh out the factory, the skyrocketing amount of drag racing, and the increasing amount of gang activity going on in shores. Oh, you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to let us know in the comment section below. So, what we're going to be talking about first, so I just want to introduce everyone. Hello and welcome to anyone who will be listening. I'm Jeremy Clarkson. It's nice to make your acquaintance. My friend Richard Hammond here. Say
Hello.
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 Right, well, that was James May, but everyone knows he has no sense of direction and or brain cells. So, let's continue to the first segment of our show. Now, I wanted to start the first episode and the first segment off when it comes to about talking about the amount of gang activity that is going on in San Andreas. Now, me personally, I'm quite new around San Andreas. I brought up in England, as you can tell from the accent. So, it came to me by surprise when I moved in, and then all of a sudden, about six gangs arose out of nowhere, and I wanted to start talking off by that. So, do you guys, you two, James and Richard, do you have any idea about any of the gangs that are
Well,
going
the
on right now?
gangs don't identify themselves to the public per se, but they are very well known to both the public and the LSPD for their terror around Los Santos and Sandy Shores.
Yes. Now, we all know, right, that these gangs come and go, right? For example, the cartel, everyone knows the tragic story about Johnny Sins and how he passed away in the back of a police cruiser. Some say that, the police officers actually just wanted him dead and left him in it. Some say it's a controversial subject. And then the goons, the recent departure of the owner, James Charles, who was sadly deported on the grounds that, I don't know, he was apparently illegal, things like that. So I wanted to start off with some of the previous gangs. So James, what were you? Did you have any stories about any previous gangs?
Well, there is supposedly something called the Dia Militia, I believe. They're dressed up as the military, but they're not. They like to be, I believe, going around with guns. With it's their right to, but they don't really like the police.
Oh,
I
so it's like
believe
it's
there
like
is,
cosplay. It's like cosplay,
yeah,
really
but
cosplay
I
gone
believe
wrong.
there was a shootout one day they against them. There was approximately 2 to 3 members of that arrested, and I believe there was supposed to be a raid or something that was happening down around the Joshua Road. There was supposedly shots fired, officers hit, parts of the militia hit, and we don't know what happened after that.
Oh yeah, I remember my first time with a gang. So I used to have my Corvette.
Shut up, no one
My
cares. Anyway, as we continue on, we don't want to sit here talking forever. As we continue on, those gangs like the cartel and the goons, things like that. Those gangs that are supposedly called those have died out. But I just wanted to talk about some recent events like the new crowning of Duckistan. Now, unfortunately, I was on my way to work. You just pick it, on my way to work, trying to make some money, and I was caught in the crossfire of Duckistan
oh
at the
lord.
time. Now, I was actually taken to the head of Duckistan himself. I don't know what they were calling him, King Duck or Chief Duck or something like that, something or another. And I remember his breath smelling so bad; it smelled of fresh goose eggs and just the worst. And all of this because they believed that Palito Bay was their rightful place and they took it over by storm. Now, where were you lot when I needed your help? Because I rung your phone about 10, 15 times.
So
I
I was
Go
actually
ahead.
looking at American Muscle Cars actually. I seem to appreciate the finer things in life, such as a grumbling V8. Where were you, James?
I was
He was
actually
coming to help us, but he lost his sense of direction as he always does.
no, I actually have I have a job up there as some may know, but my boss actually had warned me not to go up to the area that day because there's some dangerous fellas around. I have been attacked. Most places I've gone, there's some dangerous criminals around, and my people have to look out for each other. And I don't believe I got a call from you, or else my phone. I just wasn't have seen my
Mm,
phone.
Mm-hmm.
sounds suspicious to me. Sounds like you lot just accepted my death, right? And then you thought you could just take over my segment of the show just because I'm the fan favorite of the whole group. That's what
I
it
don't know
sounds
about
like.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Moving on.
Now,
We would like to.
moving on.
We'd like to be talking
Go
about
on.
the drag races happening at the power plant. Both police and the owner have reported that multiple street races have been breaking in. I have not been a part of this, but I would like to be,
Yes. Now,
as
I also want to say that I have never been part of any of these races per se. Yeah, I've never been a part of them.
yeah, we do not support
No,
racing.
never. No,
Yeah,
no, absolutely not. That'd make a terrible representation of this. Yeah.
yeah.
Just,
Oh, yeah,
anyway,
it would
anyway,
be very
as we
wrong.
were saying, yeah, many there have been popping up all around not just in the power plant. There have been races going on in one of the power plant per se. Then the airfield
Oh,
in
yeah, very
Sandy Shores,
popular.
Sandy Shores Airfield, very popular destination for that because of its large runway and smooth surface.
Mhm.
But more reports that I like to talk about is recent drag races on the airfield have actually been shot. There was a case of someone coming onto the airfield with his friends, and it actually ended in it ended in death. To be completely honest, and it's a gruesome subject to talk about. But recently, the airfield has hired new security to come in and watch because the owner, Mr. Rios himself, was tired of people coming into the airfield. And as they do, the street racers come in, they line up, and as soon as the flare hit the ground and they took off a sniper bullet, boom, straight in the back of the neck. So we just wanted to warn anyone who was thinking about going to these events, especially the ones at the airfield, that there is security and there is a high possibility of you getting shot, as we are in America. There's also a high possibility of someone trying to feed you fried butter, but you know what? I think I'm offending enough people, so let's just continue on, Shari. Let's just move on from that
So
subject.
I'd like to
What
actually
do you want to
talk.
talk about?
Yeah, James.
Go ahead.
Go ahead then.
Yeah. So I'd actually like to talk about our very own Jeremy Clarkson's Briosa 300. First of all, I'd like to ask, how does this orangutan even fit in such a car?
I've been asking your mother the same question my whole life. Now, talking about the barista.
She actually doesn't know the answer. I've asked her.
Now, as we stop assaulting my mother, let's talk about
You're
the Barista 300. Okay. Now, the Barista 300 is fresh out the factory. It's built to look like the Fiat 500, a fan favorite for 18-year-old girls all around the UK. Oh, well, hold on 1 second. I'm getting a phone call. Hold on. I'll be back in 1 second, gents.
So, what do you think about it?
So I actually think it's kind of cute. I like it in yellow personally. It's not something I would buy mainly, even though I could fit in it quite comfortably. It's a bit slow, but it is rear engine drive and rear wheel drive, which is kind of rare, weirdly. So it's more sporty than half of the cars in San Andreas, actually. Well, at least if you don't consider the horsepower, it's a two-door sedan at one point, but now it's like I like to say, I don't even know what you call this, a hatchback with the convertible hatchback maybe.
Yeah, I've driven one once or twice. I don't personally own one, but yeah, it looks like a good car that you could take on a holiday maybe. But yeah, I don't think you'd be able to fit too much bags in that thing. It's a bit small. It's more like a child could fit easier into it.
Yeah. I don't know.
It actually does have a nice amount of speed after a while when it
Yeah.
gets going, and yeah.
Yeah. One more thing I want to talk about it is how light it is. I'm pretty sure even such a lazy person, such as myself, can lift it, which might make it agile for the corners for the 18-year-old.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, last time I heard, it's about 500 kilograms actually, or as for your Americans, 1,100 pounds, which is not too heavy for a car at least. So
Yeah.
maybe, just maybe,
Someday we need to get
we might get a test
yeah, a little
vehicle.
test
Yeah.
run of it.
Let's see if the orangutan can fit in
Vehicle
it.
test run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We might take it
Yeah.
on the test track. For this week, the
Just
Stig.
to go back to one of the topics we were on about the airfield and the racing on the airfield mainly. Is there any way you think that they'd be able to fully stop it? Because there's so much open area around the airfield, and we thought
Maybe if
maybe
they
fencing or something around
either
it or
fencing
security.
or they could turn it into a business, is what I was suggesting. If you could make it as a legalized drag strip.
Sorry about that. That was
Uh,
Richard Hammond's mother asking if I wanted to come over to see, and I had to unfortunately say no.
um, we were just on about if there's any way that that there's that help could be done to stop racing on the airfield or stop it a bit at least. But we're saying maybe if they do fencing or something around it, because like if I ever drive past the airfield, you cannot see fully down, and
Yeah.
what if there's
Mm.
anything happening on the bottom there, and the security can't always be
Yes.
looking down
Hold
there,
on.
which is
Wait.
what happens at the top.
I'm getting something through the earpiece. It's the director's. He's saying that we've spent too long on the air already, and we should wrap it up around now.
So that is all our allotted time for today. So I will be
Well,
seeing
yeah.
you next
Hey,
week.
Hey, since when were you the host of the show?
Ouch.
Well, that will be all this week. Make sure to tune in next week where we talk about the new Garotti RSX, a little bit more advanced than the Barissa 300, and we talk about not only the rise in drag racing, but the rise in street drifting that has been going on. This has been Top Gear episode 1. We hope you've enjoyed, and we'll be make sure to